Good morning. Happy Monday. Good to see everybody. Bitcoin's over $30,000. This is nice. 30,700 it looks like as of right now. And yeah, I missed a few videos yesterday, so I want to see what Mr. Crypto Zombie had to say. He actually went into a good few points. I watched like a few minutes of the beginning section, and he kind of talks about how people aren't calling him, like asking, you know, is this a good time to buy Bitcoin, and yada yada, you know, things along those lines. But people aren't asking a lot of questions, and it's kind of just silent, and Bitcoin's rising. This is usually when the signs start to happen that a bull market is coming. So I guess we'll have to see what he has to say in the rest of that video. I don't know if you guys watched it, but we're gonna dive into that. It's about a 20-minute video, so I don't know if we'll have time for anything else, but we can we'll check it out. I finally got my Ubiquity set up last night, so I apologize. I'm a bit tired, a little bit behind. I went to bed at like midnight after I got everything situated, so I still have to dive through some internet stuff, so hopefully we have no hiccups this morning, but I think we should be good. Let's see who's in the chat. Mr. Teaspoon Miner, good morning. Greater Good, Big Black Snake Mining, what's up, buddy? Andrew Masad, every time I read your name, it makes me laugh. The Pirate, what's up, man? We have Chris Hanley, Crypto Frank, my man, good to see you. Dumpster Fire, Andrew Masad, let's see, Crypto Craig, what's up, bud? Dan R, Rob Mines, Rud Puts, Leo Lustig, The Pirate, I think I already said that, TD, and Financial Failure, good to see you. All right, let's get into this, and then we will see what's up for that video. Bitcoin 30,697. I swear it was 30,700 right before I switched screens. We have 1679 for Ethereum. Dogecoin's at 6.5 cents. I wonder why that's pumping. That's kind of interesting. We have XRP 53 cents. We have, let's see, where is LTC? Oh, right here. $66 Litecoin. Nice. Actually, that reminds me, I do need to put my L7 back together and get it shipped down to Terra Hosting. All right, let's check out. This is on the week. Holy shit. Hex is up 177% on the week. That's wild. Wow, that's crazy. Casp is up 11.4%. BSV is up 38.6%. Geez, Solana's up 29%. I'm still kicking myself in the ass for not buying that like I said I should have. Stupid. All right, Hex is up 6% on the day over here. Crypto Bubbles again. Casp is up 2.8%. Nice, that's pretty good. Everything looks pretty green actually. Aave is up 11.6. Pulse is up 16.9. Rune 7.8. FTM 12.2. Neo 7.7. Link 8.7. Not too bad. Even Shiba's up today. Look at that, 3.4%. Nice. All right, let's try not to blind you guys. Check out the Fear and Greed Index. We have neutral. It was greed the other day, was it not? Didn't it say? Oh, that, maybe it wasn't yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't yesterday. It was Friday or Saturday morning. I think it was actually in the greed for the first time in a long time. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, USDC, Lotto Staked, Ether, Solana, Cardano, and Dogecoin. We have Litecoin's in 17th now. Wow, that shit's dropping down a couple pegs since this was in 10th like a month and a half ago. Shiba's in 19th. Crazy. If you guys have any questions, just ask me in the chat. Mr. Rud Puts, why are you saying fail? Why are you saying fail? What did I do? All right, as always, I want to seeing as we are a crypto mining channel for the most part, I do want to go over the price of, or what is the best miner of the day, and just kind of time capsule this. So $123 the bit main Antminer KS3 is still making per day. Let's see, we have the KS2 25.16 a day, and the KS1 is $12.58 a day. You know what, I kind of want to make a video about this, just kind of talking about it. Is it worth buying these machines still? Because they're pretty much a month out to get, right? If you're going to order one, it's a month or two out. And then who knows what the hash rate, difficulty, price of Caspa is going to do. Like, is it worth just buying the Caspa instead of the machine? You guys let me know. I don't know. I'm thinking just buy the Caspa. I think it's a better deal. Let's see. The X16Q. Oh, by the way, if you guys saw my short last night, the X16Q, I shut it down when I went to go do the Ubiquity stuff, went to plug it back in, would not come on. It was in the same outlet that I was always using. I'm like, okay, maybe a break, a trip. Let me just go plug it into another outlet that I know is working because the X41U is already on. Plug it into that, wouldn't come on. I literally turned it off and on about 5 times. Could not figure it out. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this thing? Nothing that I did could fix it. I just plugged it in right before we went live, and the frickin' lights came on. Same outlet. same outlet. I did nothing different. I just plugged it back in. Maybe the board needed to clear itself out. I have no idea. Has anybody ran into that? Please let me know, because I literally thought the thing was broken last night and I was pretty pissed off. But yeah, it's working now, so I don't know. Anyways, let's see. Jasmine X4Q. I didn't mean to click on that. Let's just double check this price. We have $1.63 a day. Not too bad mining Octospace. All right, enough's enough. Let's get into this. I want to see what Mr. Crypto Zombie has to say. If you guys have any questions, obviously at me in the chat. Rudput says dirty power, man. Dirty power. I don't know. I don't think that was it, man. There's really nothing that changed.
What's going on, guys? K-Dub.
Oh geez, that started quick. Sorry. All right, let's watch K-Dub and see what he has to say. I'm making sure that playback speed is normal. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Hit that like button. Appreciate you all. Let's do it.
What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to share this view over here.
Yeah, that's
out
amazing.
in Dubai. You can see over here, basically I'm on what they call the Palm, which is pretty much like this man-made structure. And if you actually look at, from an aerial view, it looks like a palm tree. So it's actually pretty cool. You can see over there.
Have you guys ever been to Dubai? Anybody here in the chat been to Dubai?
They have the that's the Atlantis Hotel, and you can't see the other part of the city with the Burj Khalifa. You can see some construction over here and stuff, but I don't know, just kind of wanted to show you guys where we're hanging out here in Dubai before we hop into the video. But we do have a lot to talk about before I hop in, so let me get into that right now. But before
real quick, Mr. Leo Lustig said just don't order the KS1 from the BT from BT miners. Yeah, apparently they're dicking him around, so F those guys. Zapirate said, do you have a warranty? Maybe the PSU replacement is enough. Yeah, I think something's up with the PSU. And you know how, like, the reason I asked about the, like, maybe the board, the capacitors needed to release the electricity, like Tyson said in the chat, there is no way to, like, hold down a power button. There's no power button. It's just a switch. So I couldn't, like, hold it down for 30 seconds to, like, drain the power like you normally do on a normal PC. That's kind of why I didn't know what else to do last night, but whatever, it worked, so I'm happy. All right, let's continue.
Before we actually get into the video and stuff, and I do apologize, guys. I realize it's a little bit echoey in here. I'm probably going to go to the mall and buy a microphone or something while I'm here just for a little better quality. But anyway, that's not the point. Right now, I had a little bit of a rant I wanted to start the video off with. Usually we dive right in, we get right to the news, but it really dawned on me, and I'm starting to realize that there's like these contrarian views on what's happening right now, right? You're seeing.
So listen to what he says here, and this is what I heard. I didn't watch anything else. I heard probably up to like the, I don't know, 5-minute mark or 3-minute mark, whatever. But he makes really good points here, and this is when you know Bitcoin, like the bull run's starting to pick up.
A lot of negativity, like, oh, everybody's just way too bullish on Bitcoin right now, so that means that we absolutely have to fall. You know, this is all just a trick to fool us, and we're all just in this giant bull trap. Well, I just want to remind everybody that this is a bit of an echo chamber, okay? If you go over on Twitter or you go on YouTube, it's the same people showing up on the same videos, having the same conversations, and it's just this echo chamber over and over and over again. I can tell you right now, I am not getting nearly as many views, nearly as many subscribers as I was 2 years ago. I'm not getting called up on the phone by relatives and friends from college asking if now's a good time to buy Bitcoin. No, it's dead silent. In fact, most people don't even really know what a Bitcoin spot ETF is. I mean, even just walking around Dubai here, you don't hear a lot of people talking about Bitcoin and crypto, even though a lot of people associate, you know, that with Dubai. But really, it's only when you go to these select events. The majority of people still have absolutely no idea. So again, what I'm trying to point out is it's really just the smart money and the diehards that are here and, you know, that are essentially bullish. So when I think that we should take the contrarian approach because you're hearing a lot of bullish talk, the bullish talk that you're hearing is from people who have been in the space for a while, people like me. I've been looking at these charts for 7 years now, and I can tell you when I see something, I want to share it with you, and right now, I don't think is the time to be bearish, okay? But that's just obviously my opinion, but I just wanted to kind of share that and also say if you're watching this video right now, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a, you know, give a thumbs up if you want to share this video. But, you know, again, what's going to happen? Everybody watching, what are your friends going to do when Bitcoin's at 100, 150,000? They're going to say, oh, you got lucky. You got lucky, right? You didn't get lucky. You put in the time, you put in the hard work, you paid attention, you stuck around, dollar cost average, right? Whatever it is that you guys are doing. So anyway, just want to say congratulations.
Good things come to those who wait. That's the moral of the story.
Generally don't start the video off with a rant, but I thought that it was appropriate based on today. So let's dive in super quick. Having a look at the chart, you guys could see right here, we did have this nice flag consolidation pattern and a beautiful breakout. Now, again, I did say that there was a possibility of having a retest down at these levels, although having a look at this, I'm not too sure. It does look like we're curving up, but there is one reason why I don't necessarily want to have a crazy move this weekend, and I will explain to you why I kind of don't want that.
What I can't get it out of my brain. What is he sitting in front of? What is this, a bar? What is this in the background? I thought it was like a curtain at first, but it's not. It's definitely like a bar or something.
In the short term, and it's not me not being bullish. I'll just explain it to you a little bit later in the video. But what's so interesting is we've been talking about this decoupling on the channel for a while, right? How Bitcoin used to basically just follow everything that the S&P and the stock market was doing. And, if you have a look right here, so we have Bitcoin clearly in an uptrend. And if I switch it to the daily, right, you can obviously see that we've been in, clearly, 3 straight days of green. And coming over here, having a look, we have 3 straight days of red. And in fact, the S&P not only has had 3 straight days of red, but it actually lost the upward sloping trend right here. Let me just get this back. Sorry, it's all out of whack here. Here we go. So you could see right here, right? We had this upwards trend right here, right here, right here. And you could see that we actually broke that. Now, we are still being held on right here. However, again, you're seeing Bitcoin moving up, S&P moving down. Actually, gold moved up as well, which is really crazy. That was a very interesting move as well. But, getting back, just kind of talking about things. So discussing the fact that you have the smart money and then the diehards, I wanted to just point out this post that Sylvian Searle put out. And,
this is one of the reasons I kind of like watching Crypto Zombie, because he does charting and he's really like intertwined with Twitter, and he finds a lot of good posts and stuff. So I'm always interested to find out what he finds throughout Twitter.
This guy, Dr. Lafar, okay, he argues that the Bitcoin standard can work. Now, most people don't really know who this guy is, but he says that this has some significance since Dr. Arthur Lafar is known for the Lafar curve theory. I hope I'm saying his name right. I've never heard it pronounced. He is recognized as the father of supply side economics. I mean, you can look at this guy right here, right? He doesn't really look like he's like a hardcore Bitcoiner, right? He just clearly looks at things in a practical application. And
come on, KW, you're judging a book by its cover. Cut that out.
And he's over here. He was a member of the U.S. President Reagan's Economic Policy Advisor Board, and he was over here on this panel. I don't know, what's her name? Kathy Wood was on it. And I just want you to kind of hear the way that these people like, for example, this doctor, are even speaking about Bitcoin now.
Because deflation depends. I don't know if you think of it in terms of Milton Friedman or stuff, and I don't. But let's just say you did. Because there's a limited number of Bitcoins, that therefore as GDP grows in the world over time and all that then you would find less and less Bitcoin per unit of GDP. And then you'd start finding deflation occur to get the real value of Bitcoin up to being the same ratio as GDP. That's sort of the monetary view of the world. If you look at that, there's no reason why that's true, because Jesus. You can surely have a system that uses Bitcoin as sort of a monetary base, the way gold was. And then you had the banks, which then used the leverage on the gold system. So banks would issue liabilities that were larger than their reserves based upon the cash inflows and outflows on that. So you can have clearly a monetary base and a monetary expansion and allow Bitcoin assets total to expand quite along with GDP or whatever else the demand for money is. Now, you probably have substitutes in the system as well. I don't know if you do, will or not, but we have all sorts of substitutes in money in the system. I wrote a piece in the JPE called Trade Credit in the Money Market. You can use trade credit to arbitrage the transactions demand for money by using trade credit there and matching income and expenditure streams on credit. So there are just lots of ways. So I don't see a serious complaint about Bitcoin with regard to deflation. And if you get a price rule system in there, if something like a banking system comes in and decides to do that, I don't see why you'd have a problem on volatility either. I mean, all of these are there. With regard to anonymity, I think anonymity is a wonderful trait, not a bad trait. Yes, it can be used by criminals. That's for damn sure. But it cannot be used by governments. And I sent you that book, Kathy, on coding. If you know prime number coding, you can make literally codes today that are unbreakable. and you can transfer them to an owner and a thing, and you can guarantee. And Kathy, you have that book there. I don't know if you did. I didn't bring my copy today. I should have.
Obviously, Robert Kiyosaki coming out saying gold will soon break through the
What the hell? They just stop it like that? What book's he talking about? I want to know what book he's talking about.
$2,100 level and then take off. You will wish you had bought below 2,000. Next stop, gold 3,700. And then he says Bitcoin testing 30,000. Next stop,
Wait, he thinks gold's going to go to 3,700. Is that per ounce? Or is that just like the stock of gold? Does anybody know?
Bitcoin 135,000. Now I'm not sure.
That has to be an ounce. That has to be an ounce. He's talking about 23 to 68 silver. Because yeah, I used to dabble in precious metals, but I don't remember. I remember it was around $20 for silver, and about, I think when I bought some gold ounces, it was like 1,400 or so for an ounce of gold back when I was into it.
100% where he's getting that number from, but I will say that we have actually used some Fibonacci retracements in the past. One of my videos was actually really popular on this, and we projected based off of just those levels, just technicals, not knowing anything, that you could literally see Bitcoin get up to around $180,000 just based on these previous price movements. So he says, please tell your friends to wake up. But then again, will they wake up, or will...
I actually like this Robert Kiyosaki guy. Didn't he? I think he wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, if I'm not mistaken, and he did buy a bunch of Bitcoin. I forget how much, but he bought like down at, I think it was $6,400 or something. He bought a shit ton of Bitcoin. So I mean, he's definitely into everything, and he hates the U.S. dollar. So that's a plus in his part.
They ignore it until Bitcoin is now above $100,000 and all this. Well, you know, you had over here the chief legal officer, Paul Gruel, he's from Coinbase, and they were on CNBC, and they were discussing, you know, the fact that a lot of these people got really burnt, right, in the Celsius, FTX, BlockFi debacle. So not only did you have all of these people losing all this money to Sam and friends, but then on top of it, you had this really sort of boring sideways downwards bear market essentially for 2 straight years. So not only did people get bored, but they also got burnt, and a lot of them have left the building. But you know, he actually goes on to talk about why he's optimistic about, you know, eventually, you know, these average sort of traders and investors and retail coming back in. And also they're very confident about this ETF.
Do you think there's a whole generation of you know, retail investors who just got burnt really badly in some of the debacles, quite frankly, we saw last year and won't really return to the market? Or are you optimistic at this point that you will see these volumes come back?
Well, I'm quite encouraged and quite optimistic that a number of the bad actors in this space are being held to account through criminal trials and through aggressive regulatory actions that really are critical to inspiring confidence, not just in the retail sector, but in all sectors that may be interested in crypto. We are quite excited that there are a number of developments we think that are just around the corner or underway even as we speak that will bring back investor and consumer interest in crypto. For example, we think it's quite positive that the U.S. Court of Appeals rejected the SEC's rationale when it turned away Grayscale's request to offer a Bitcoin ETF. We think that other ETFs are going to be coming online soon enough as the SEC follows the law and is required to apply the law in a neutral way to the applications that are pending. We think there are obviously new products and services to service the Web3 and on-chain markets that will draw further interest in crypto that have really little or nothing to do with speculating on the value of the assets, and are much more about utility. So there's a lot to be excited about in crypto. It may be taking longer than some of us would like, but we do think the future is bright.
But again, like he says, it is quite unfortunate the fact that the US is taking so long to sort of get the ball rolling, right? And as you can see right here, you know, crypto-friendly Dubai has gained 25,000 business licenses, 60% rise compared to the previous year. I mean, I'm literally here right now, so that should be saying something, right? And, you know, a lot of these businesses are moving to places, moving to jurisdictions that are just more friendly, that are actually trying to be progressive. Now, you know, this doesn't mean anything. I'm not saying I'm going to leave the U.S. A lot of people think just because I'm here, that's it. No, that's not. I actually am very confident that the U.S. will eventually get their ish together. I do think they will. It's just in the meantime, it's kind of difficult. I mean, you guys don't even know what I've had to deal with in the past year. I've kept quite...
Well, we've also seen, I mean, just coming along, right? The U.S. is going to turn around, come to I guess, seeing where Bitcoin and crypto actually is. They did, you know, state that they're going to put kind of crypto on the back burner now and focus on the whole AI thing, which is a huge plus. And then, you know, Gensler, like we saw, what was it, last week or so? He was pretty genuine coming out to talk about, I guess, all the ETFs that they have like in line for approvals. And like he was like more optimistic than he has been recently, obviously, probably because he's getting dunked on all the time. But just in general, it's things are turning around. That's a good thing, you know?
Silent about it, but it has been an absolute nightmare trying to do business in the US as, you know, a person who deals with Bitcoin and crypto. It's like you're kind of automatically lumped into this category, you know, and it doesn't help that you have guys like Sam, you know, Bankman-Fried and all these terrible things. I mean, really, for like a straight year and a half, it was nothing but negative news, right? So yeah, I mean, that's just that. If you guys want to know about my story, maybe one day I'll make a video on it. I mean, it probably would make a really great movie, in all fairness. But you know, getting back to the topic at hand here, and we're gonna get to the TA in a bit. It's the weekend, so I'm not really expecting much. But, you know, you have crypto advocate Tom Enner entering the race for House Speaker. He is very pro-crypto, Bitcoin, Web3, etc. He is the one that's gone against...
That is quite the cartoon filter over his face, because he looks much older than that.
Gary Gensler, along with Warren Davidson and you know, a handful of others. So it says that he's announced his bid for the House Speaker. The House is currently in legislative standstill after Jim Jordan's defeat and Mick Henry's interim leadership, which, by the way, Mick Henry, you guys remember the clip with him, he's the guy with the bow tie, who's literally asking Gary Gensler, you know, so is Ethereum a security? Well, you know, if you apply the Howey test and there's a company and there's people who assume there's profits, okay, so is it or is not a security? Well, judge it, you know, and you just wouldn't answer the question, right? So, you know, basically this is like arguably, I mean, this is what, the third Emmer, the third ranking Republican, is viewed as a strong contender. And, you know, obviously this position is a very high position. So ultimately, you know, you have currently right now a pro-Bitcoiner standing in, and then you have this guy who's also very pro-cryptocurrency looking to apply for this role as well. So slowly but surely, you know, the dinosaurs, the Gary Genslers, the Elizabeth Warrens, and I know she's not a Congress member. Somebody corrected me that the other day. But, you know, these people in general that oppose the space, they're going to slowly be sifted out. They're going to be replaced by the new, right? And it just takes a little bit longer in the US is basically that situation. So let's dive in. Let's have a look at the charts. Obviously, nothing crazy different because it is the weekend. And I will tell you why I don't want to pump too hard this weekend, just for a little reason.
You guys want to watch the charting stuff, or do you guys want to jump into Altcoin Daily's video and see what they got to say over there? Let me know in the chat.
I'll explain you why. But right here, this is the dollar, the DXY, right? And you could see it made its attempt to break back into the channel, but it actually thus far, I mean, you could say...
Actually, no, let's jump out of the charts. We're just going to go to the end here. I think it's a better idea. Let's go to the end, and then we'll see what Altcoin Daily's got to say. This is the... Let's see. He starts talking about the Feds, something. So
bump and run reversal, and generally speaking, you know, once you do get that move, you usually don't come back down, right? So I mean, that's the bullish news. Is there anything negative? Well, we have the Fed's interest rate decision approaching, and will the Fed increase interest rates at its November meeting? Well, we don't know that. So according to the estimates, the Fed is expected to keep interest rates constant at its meeting on November 1st. So that could throw a little bit of a wrench in the gear. But ultimately, guys, like I said, there has been a lot of room to be bearish. There has been over 2 years basically to be, well, not fully 2 years, like a year and a half to be bearish. And you know, it's, you know what it is? It's that PTSD. That's what it is. It's like when we're going to 100K, it's like people can't accept the fact that now price is going down. And because we've had all these negatives happen, because price has been held down for so long, now people are, you know, battle scarred that they can't accept the fact that the markets could be reversing, right? It's like you...
Yeah, he's not wrong there, to be honest. Shout out to Crypto Zombie, guys. The like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. I gave him a like as well, and I have the full video down in the description below. If you guys want to see the technical analysis, feel free. All right, the upcoming market crash exposed. Why is Bitcoin going up? So this, I didn't get to watch, but Raoul Paul obviously is speaking here, and yeah, we're just going to see what he has to say. Let's do it.
But you said you think we will have a small recession, as in it's still on the horizon?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because the market's looking forwards.
The biggest lie that you and I were ever told in 2023 is that a
What's up with this friggin' piano music? I feel like I'm in an elevator.
Recession is coming.
Everyone's like, I want my recession. I want my 50% sell-off in the S&P. You're not going to get it. You had the mild recession sell-off last year. That's what we're going to get.
The stock market is going higher. The crypto market, Bitcoin, is going higher.
I think the NASDAQ finishes this year at all-time highs. I think the S&P goes to all-time highs.
And in today's video, I want to share with you a series of clips from experts explaining why.
Every time there's a recession, there's a debate about this. Every single time.
Click the like button to support me. Send this video to a friend. And for me, this all started when I watched a really great interview with global macro investor Raoul Pal on the overpriced JPEGs channel, explaining that this debate on recessions, meaning are we in one? Has it already happened? Is it coming? How do you define a recession? Is a debate as old as time? And Raoul has seen this over and over again.
How do you define, this seems like a silly question, but how do you define recession? Is it 2 quarters of negative GDP?
Well, that's what most of us think of, but it's actually driven by the NBER, and they've got a whole bunch of different parts of what drives a recession. But basically, if we see unemployment pick up from here, we're likely to have called all of the factors that the NBER have for recession. So we're very, very close. All of the indicators that I use suggest we're pretty much in negative growth now.
So we're pretty close. You're saying we're...
God, I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand this filter that he puts over the video. You're stealing the video. Just play it as it is. Why do you have to put this white ass filter? It like hurts my eyes.
Probably in a recession or very close to being in one.
I put this on Twitter on the weekend. I said, how many of you have laid off staff, been in an industry where staff have been laid off? How many of you are seeing growth? I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it's obvious we're in a recession. I don't know anybody who's not laid off staff unless you're in healthcare or something like that.
So why does it feel different? Like, I don't know if it does not feel the same way that I feel like I felt in past recessions, which I thought was more obvious.
Because you are scarred by
2008.
Yeah, so don't forget, you were at school in 2001. Most people graduate or around graduating. School meaning, well, we use school in different terms, so high school. A lot of the millennial generation graduated around the financial crisis. Those were 2 big recessions. And then the pandemic.
Right.
So you've had 3 of them on trot, which were abnormal.
Right.
I actually graduated in 1990, and we had a recession then. The S&P was down 30%, 28%. It was very much like this one.
And it felt this way.
Just like this. It was miserable.
Were there debates then about whether or not we were? It feels like we have debates now about whether or not we're in a recession.
Every single time I've ever seen the yield curve invert, or every time there's a recession, there's a debate about this. Every single time.
And while I will share with you one more clip from this episode of Raoul's thoughts in Q4.
I think the S&P goes to all-time highs.
By the way, full podcast is linked down below. I recommend.
Real quick, Sadie sometimes in the chat just said it feels that way because they have food. People that are struggling are very aware we're in a recession, and it's a good point. 100%.
As well as this is just 1 in 5 different videos I'm sharing with you today. But let's not forget, as explained actually in our video from a few days ago, several Bitcoin ETFs will get approved in 2023. And whether this does actually happen this year or next year, it could be in 2024. An ETF is happening. And Bitcoin today jumps over $30,000, at least flirting with it, as ETF hopes drive bulls. And in this second clip, Robert Kennedy Jr. explains that BlackRock and other global elites like this are trying to take over crypto before you, just like they've done with all other sectors.
Most of us know people who were about to buy a home. They were ready to do it. And at the last moment, somebody comes in with a cash offer and scoops it out from under them. We've all heard those stories. Why is that happening? BlackRock.
Someone in the back just goes, BlackRock.
BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. And those 3 companies, which all own each other, so it's really one huge behemoth, also own 88% of the S&P 500. And now they have a new target, which is to gain ownership of all the single-family residences in this country. And they are on a trajectory to do that if they can.
BlackRock today.
Yeah, guys, don't be mistaken. BlackRock has already taken over a shit ton of Bitcoin. There is no chance they're not going hard. So, like, they've invested, I'm pretty sure it was BlackRock, invested into 4 out of the 5 top Bitcoin mining facilities around the world. The only one it wasn't, it was HUD 8, I believe, but I think it was like TerraWolf. There was 5 of them, 4 of them, sorry. And it's crazy. They're going to be having their own mining facilities at some point for sure. They're just trying to control the market. That's literally what's happening. And if you guys saw, so Saturday, we actually watched the CNBC, what was it, a documentary that this dude that stole a bunch of Bitcoin from, what was it? So the Silk Road. Yeah. Stole it from Silk Road, right? The website. He ended up, I think it was like estimated like $3 billion. They went and seized it from him, the government, right? Not BlackRock, just in general, the government. They went and seized the $3 billion of Bitcoin from him, and they just like can sell it and keep it, and that's cool. Like, it's fine. The dude got like a year in jail. They're like, oh, thanks for $3 billion. You're going to go in jail for a year, and then we're going to let you out, and we'll call it even. F it. It's like, it's so ridiculous. These big guys, man, they can do whatever the hell they want. It's crazy.
Is allowed to buy property. They see that this is going to be valuable in the future and they're accumulating. They're not allowed yet to buy crypto, or at least they would prefer more regulatory clarity, like an approval of an ETF, spot Bitcoin ETF. And then BlackRock will be in a race with you to accumulate that too. And
I wonder for real, like if they're not legally allowed to buy Bitcoin as of right now, I would put money on somebody in BlackRock has Bitcoin as of right now in a cold wallet, and as soon as this shit gets approved, it's just gonna get sent right over to the new wallet. And I wonder if we'll be able to trace that shit back at some point. I guess we'll have to see. Crazy.
And finally, let's look into where we are today with markets, with crypto. But let's remember what Raul Pal said a few months ago on our channel, Best Cryptocurrency Investing Strategy into 2024.
I put money on it,
I asked Raul about the upcoming Bitcoin halving. Is he still bullish? And he educated me on the business cycle and how these two line up.
So I mean, because BlackRock has like what they labeled Coinbase as like I don't know, something they have something to do with Coinbase. Like they're the people that they go to, and they filed that with the SEC. How much do you want to bet that they're already investing money into Coinbase, and they're like, okay, this is our account over here. You guys are going to send it to us when we're legally allowed to take it. I guarantee you something stupid like that's happening. It has to be. There's no chance it's not. Like, they obviously want to get in as low as they can on Bitcoin. Now it's over 30,000. They were talking about this ETF shit when it was close to 20K. Why wouldn't they have? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
I think the Bitcoin halving is actually to do with the macro cycle. It's the debt refi cycle that happened in 2008. In 2008, we had a great reset of debt. What happened is every central bank, major central bank around the world said, right, nobody needs to pay interest. Interest rates are zero. Okay, that was fascinating. Then they kind of agreed that nobody was going to pay off debts. So they just keep rolling them. And what they did is back in 2008, they all issued debt between 3 and 5 years. That kind of 4-year midpoint is the halving cycle because Bitcoin launched at the same time. So they're coincidental. Now, maybe it's one of the reasons Bitcoin, can outperform because of it, but really the cycle is a macro cycle, which is really important for people to understand. But you can still use the Bitcoin halving cycle because it's the same timing. So it makes no difference. You don't have to over-intellectualize it. It's just like, yeah, generally 2024 should be an up year unless something dramatically has changed.
And in lead up to this...
Huge shout out my boy, Crypto Frank.
Perfect.
Appreciate you, buddy, for the $49.99 super chat. Let me get big screened here. I keep my employment thin. My guys have been with me for over 12 years. I've seen companies hire dozens of people just to fire 80% a couple of months ago and got stuck with 6 work trucks. He said, we are in the deep of it for sure right now. BTC for the win. Dude, Crypto Frank, appreciate you so much for that. Means a lot. And yeah, dude, 100%. So I running the plumbing company, right? When I had what was it, 14 guys working for me at one point. It was always my goal to never have to lay them off. So I only hired people when it was absolutely necessary to hire people. That's just kind of how I looked at it. And then COVID hit, obviously, Black Swan event. We couldn't ever expect that. And then, everything just kind of went to shit, but it was at like the perfect time for me because I was in the middle of like having a brand new baby and all this stuff. So it was like, all right, cool, I'll stay home for a couple months. But when I was hiring people, it was like I did everything in my power to only hire when I had to and to not, you know, go that route to have to lay people off. But yeah, it's unfortunate. A lot of people are getting screwed right now. It's just how it is.
Final clip, because
Thanks
as
again,
you'll
buddy.
remember, Raul says we're already in a recession, but Q4 could get a little choppy.
Q4 for me
gonna be a run.
is the weaker period. That's when the recession comes in.
Jerome Powell, a few days ago, in a new public interview, while he admitted that the economy is showing signs of cracking, unemployment is starting to creep up. Powell said inflation
Oh,
is
boy.
still too high and lower economic growth is likely needed.
This is some shit that this is literally what Crypto Frank was just saying. Unemployment's getting even worse.
Financial conditions have tightened significantly in recent
Crazy.
months, and longer-term bond yields have been an important driving factor in this tightening. We remain attentive to these developments because persistent changes in financial conditions can have implications for the path of monetary policy. My colleagues and I remain resolute in our commitment to returning inflation to 2% over time. A range of uncertainties, both old ones and new ones, complicate our task of balancing the risk of tightening monetary policy too much against the risk of tightening too little. Doing too little could allow above-target inflation to become entrenched and ultimately require monetary policy to wring more persistent inflation from the economy at a high cost to employment. Doing too much could also do unnecessary harm to the economy. Given the uncertainties and risks, and given how far we've come, the committee is proceeding carefully.
So how all that affects you is that if everybody knows a recession is either happening or very, very likely to happen, I mean, every expert has been talking about this for the last 2 years. If everybody knows, then that's just everybody's buying opportunity if one happens at all.
We will have a mild recession. That was always my base case.
Okay.
But everyone was apocalyptical. It was
Yes.
2008 again.
Yes.
Everything's going down 50%, 60%. So obviously, crypto goes down a lot more.
Sure,
It
sure.
goes down 80%. But generally speaking, I just wasn't that bearish.
Yes.
And the market had priced it in last year,
Yes.
which was the big thing to me. It's like, you know, when ETH bottomed in June, Bitcoin, the rest of the space bottomed in October, that was like, it's all priced in. We've got it all in.
But you said you think we will have a small recession, as in it's
Yeah, it
still
doesn't matter
on the
because
horizon?
the markets
Have
looking
priced that in.
forwards.
It's very possible that 5 years from now, we'll look back and the government will tell us, well, we were already in a recession.
I think the NASDAQ
Sure.
finishes this year at all-time highs. I think the S&P goes to
All-time highs.
all-time highs. So Q4 for me is
gonna be a run.
the weaker period. That's when the recession comes in. So that's when we've already heard today, really, all the Fed were out saying, we've done enough. Bond market's gone too far. The bond market's overpricing this.
And either way, because markets are forward-looking, understand that the tightening, the hawkishness from the Fed is coming to an end, and we're already seeing liquidity
Why is this
come
zooming in
back
on
into
this guy
markets.
walking down?
Things like Janet Yellen saying today, really interesting comment. She said, well, when we think about it, financing the debt is going to be about 1% of GDP for the next 10 years. Well, if the government's 100% of GDP in debt, she's basically saying interest rates have to be 1%, which is part of this everything code thesis I've had. So what I'm seeing is liquidity starting to pick up. I think they will stop.
Does he have Negan jacket on right now? You guys ever see The Walking Dead? Is that Negan's jacket? That looks like Negan's jacket, bro. And it looks like the scar from the comic books. You guys ever read that? That's a riot. I don't know why it just dawned on me. That's
Quantitative
hysterical.
tightening this year. And then with the, it's a bit complicated here, but the Treasury have been
Bust all
issuing
loose seal and crack
new
this
stuff.
bitch
So
right
that's
now.
the TGA build, but that probably slows down. But the reverse repo, which is the other part of the liquidity stuff,
just
start
kidding.
draining. And that probably pushes liquidity. If they take QT out, it just means liquidity rises.
Be sure to click
Oh, that's
subscribe
crazy. That's
for
funny
daily
as hell.
updates, keeping you informed about crypto. Like always, see you tomorrow.
That's so funny. Shout out to Altcoin Daily for that. That's a riot, actually. That was literally the same jacket that Negan has. That's crazy. All right, let's I guess that's really it, guys. That's really it. We're gonna be getting out of here shortly, but I do want to talk to you guys real quick about just the miners here, right? as you know, we are a crypto mining channel mainly, and I'll be getting into a lot more videos soon, actually, real soon, because now that I got my Ubiquity all set up. Huge shout out to my man Luke, by the way. I wanted to say thank you for that. Check my phone. Where's my phone? My wife's telling me to check my phone. That's never good. What happened? Oh, okay. Yeah, just go. You're good. You're good. I'm about to get out of here anyways. But I do want to ask you guys, so the KS3s, right? I'm really considering not buying KS3, but like KS1, KS2. What's a better idea? Do I just take the money, the 2,000 or whatever it is, and go buy Caspa directly? Or would you guys actually purchase one of these machines and then be on the hook for, you know, paying? So like, let me see. Let's see how much this is. So dude, I pay so much freaking money in electricity. It's disgusting. It's like 25 cents, dude. It's gross. I'd be making 10 bucks a day though. 10 bucks a day on a unit that I don't even know how much this yields actually. How much does this yield? To tell you how much Caspa per day. It's only 600 watts. Wow, that's really low. Actually, let me go to mining pool stats.stream quick. Oh, actually, it's right here. Right here. Let's go to Caspa. If you guys didn't know, on miningpoolstats.stream, down at the bottom, there's always a calculator. How much hash rate is that? 1 terahash. This is gigahashes. All right, so that's 1,000 gigahashes, right? Am I correct? All right, so it's about 269 Caspa per day. Okay, and this is probably 10 cents kilowatt hour, if I'm not mistaken. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth getting the KS1, or do you think I should just go and buy the Caspa? Like, I honestly can't decide. 10 bucks a day. How much I'm running me in electricity? Electricity is only like $4 a day. Man, that's so cheap compared to my L7. My L7's like $20 a day. No joke. Need more heat. Ooh, that's good. That's a good question, actually. And you know what? The only thing that would stop me from that is how loud are these machines? I'm sure I could just change these fans to Noctuas. They don't pull too much electricity, so they shouldn't be too loud. But that would be my only concern, to be honest. That would be my only concern, if this thing's loud as shit or not. Because I technically, actually, no. Hold on, can it take 120? Can this run off 120? Probably not. Probably not. The specs on it. Does anybody have the specs on this thing? How do I go to the, is there a website somewhere? I guess I could just go to Bitmain. Actually, let's go to Ice River. Ice River KS. Oh, no, that is on Ice River. I just spelled that totally wrong. I spelled it totally wrong. Let's see. IceRiver.io. I want to see what the KS1. Why? What the shit? That drop down just disappears every time I hover over it. All right, let me see. Can you guys? Does anybody know? Can it run off 120? Probably not. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be able to, but I mean, it's just the ASICS probably the issue. 170 to 300 volts. Okay, so I can't run it off 120, which is kind of stupid because this thing, I mean, it's only 600 watts. That's no problem running it off a normal 15 amp circuit, which is kind of kind of neat. Yeah, so I mean, I guess I could use it in the basement. Obviously I have a PDU. That's really not a big deal, but man, I don't know. I'm debating if I should just get this or not. Buy multiple S19Ks, pipe into the HVAC again. Oh, dude, oh, wrong button. I would love to, but it's just, I don't know. I hate to say it, but I don't think Bitcoin mining as a home miner is a good idea. I really don't. And the only reason I think that is because, like, for one, you're paying stupid amounts of electricity, right? It's like, what, 3,000 watts or something? Let me see. Hold on. Let's go to the S19K. I can go back. Let me see. S19K. S19K Pro. Is that what he said? Let me just double check. Is that what he said? Yeah. Buy multiple S19K Pros. Pipe into the HVAC system again. 17 months, dude. A member. Thank you so much, Steven Cicero. Appreciate you, buddy. And you're a lifesaver, by the way. I won't tell people what you do for work, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, so this S19K Pro, for me, it'll cost me 16 bucks a day to run. Right, I'd be taking an L hard. This would be a hard L. $16 a day in electricity, and I'd be taking an 890 hit on. Look at, all right, let me just blow this up so you guys can actually see what the hell I'm looking at. Be a good idea, right? This is what I'd be losing. I'd be losing 16, or I'd be paying $16.56 in electricity. Profit would be negative $8.90 per day. So I'd just be taking an L all around if I bought this unit, on top of paying for it, you know, whatever it would cost. The power is 2760. I guess it could be worse. It's under 3000, but still, it's Jesus Christ. And then obviously, like the catalyst here, right, is it's 120 terahashes. The new units, what, the SK21s, or the is it SK, the SK21 or just S21? I don't know. The new Bitcoin miners that's coming out, that's 200 terahashes. So yeah, I don't know. I think Bitcoin mining as a home miner, unless you have stupid low electricity, it's not a good idea. I hate to say it. I hate to say it because I love Bitcoin, but it's just, you're better off mining what's most profitable and selling into it, doing the old max voltage. You know what I mean? That's just pretty much how it is. There's really no way around it. Let's see. Use your water turbine, bro. I'm sitting there spinning this thing. I'm like over here, like spinning it on my table. I want to get that thing working, but I don't know how the hell to get it going. I don't know how it's gonna work properly. But yeah, I'm sitting there playing with it off to the side while you guys are talking about that in the chat. It's hysterical. But yeah, eventually, this is my electric alternator that will eventually turn into power. It's supposed to be 2000 kilowatts or whatever, but I don't know, I 3D printed this thing. I gotta try to figure out how to make it work. I do have a stream out back, but it's pretty far away, and to be honest, I don't know how this is gonna spin properly in that, so I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I just like kind of rest my hand on it because it's just chilling on the desk. Anyways, guys, I don't know, let me know your thoughts about this, maybe in the comments below, or I don't know, somewhere else later on, just because I'm kind of torn between what to do. I do want to get another miner, but at the same time, like, I don't want to wait a month to get a new Caspa miner. I don't. And I would kind of rather just purchase the Caspa. I mean, my man Luke made a couple good points last night. I'm not gonna reveal everything he said to me, but Caspa has a pretty decent outlook. You know, it's pretty much one of the only coins that's really risen really well consistently the entire bear market. So yeah, and I guess, you know what, I could say one other thing. It hasn't hit any major exchanges yet. So by the time things hit Binance, by the time things hit like Coinbase, that's when the pump usually stops. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. I appreciate you all. I gotta get back to daddy duty, as you guys know. Kids are upstairs running around. I can hear them right now. So you guys have a good day. I appreciate you all. Happy Monday. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 8:15 or so Eastern Standard Time, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Crypto Frank, thanks again, buddy. Appreciate you. See you guys later.